Activate.
This is Living Power with Dan Hurst.
But I want you to get this most amazing element of God's plan. This is pretty fascinating. I want to go back to something we had talked about before about the lineage of David. God promised David that his descendant would sit on the throne forever. 2 Samuel 7, verse 16 says, "And thine house and thine kingdom," I'm reading this out of King James, "shall be established forever before thee, thy throne shall be established forever." This was a promise that was given to David. Your kingdom will last forever. There will be the lineage of kingship over Israel forever. And the scriptures were fulfilled by Jesus Christ. Luke chapter 1, verses 32 and 33. "He shall be great, he shall be called the Son of the Highest, and the Lord God shall give unto him the throne of his father David. And he shall reign over the house of Jacob forever, and of his kingdom there shall be no end." Now the problem with that statement in and of itself is that if Jesus had not been born then of the lineage of David, then he would not be allowed to be the king. He wouldn't be the final king of Israel. He had to be born. He couldn't just show up and become king. He had to be born into the lineage of David to be the king. But there's a little problem with this whole thing that we have to work out here, and I want you to see what happens. This is how God works things. This is how God does things. It's amazing to me. You see, Jesus had a Jewish mother, but not a Jewish father, since God was his father. I don't know if you know this or not, but God isn't a Jew, which is really going to make some of our Jewish friends upset. But God isn't a Jew, and so since Mary, of course, was Jewish, but Jesus was not born of a physical father, then he wasn't Jewish, because God isn't Jewish. However, because she was engaged to Joseph, who was a Jew, once they got married, and by the genealogical line of descent from King David in Matthew 1, now listen to what I'm saying here. If you follow the genealogical line of Matthew 1, guess who would have been king, who had the right to be the king over Israel? Joseph. Joseph had the right to be the king. He was in the lineage. He had the right to be the king over Israel. And so in order for Jesus to be the legitimate heir to the throne of David, Mary would give birth to him. Remember, she's impregnated by God. And once Joseph and Mary were married, then Jesus became Joseph's legal firstborn son. Even though it wasn't by blood. He was legally adopted by Joseph because he married Mary. That meant that Jesus would be the rightful heir to the throne. But here's the key. Since Jesus had no offspring and rose from the dead, he's the last legal heir to the throne of Israel, and he'll take his rightful place in the millennium.